you?
Um, Hi everyone, I am Palak and I am a current 11th grader. And I've always had a passion for debating, public speaking, most of all, um, and attending programs where I get to meet people from various cultures. I am aiming for Ivy Leagues, in fact, and that is one of the reasons I came across this channel. Um, Also, if I talk about myself, the subjects I've taken, in 11th, I've taken commerce and I have a specific interest for economics. So I'll be pursuing that in the future.
Okay, interesting. So you have a tons of extracurriculars, but my favorite one is I think your startup. So I think
Yeah.
Atmanirbhar INR. So the name is cool, and I love that. So please, like, say something about your startup.
Right. So I when I thought about Atmanirbhar INR, the name clicked because when we talk about Atmanirbhar, we say that we are self-dependent. Most of the women who come from low-income backgrounds in India, they are not financially self-dependent. That means they are dependent on other people for their financial needs, which is not something that should be continued in this modern era. That is why I thought it would be best if we students help women like these who can be well off in their fields. We know so many exemplary women figures, like from paviben.com, who are well off in their fields for rural women employment and entrepreneurship. If we could start giving financial education to such women, they would be empowered, and thus we could help India get on that pedestal.
Yeah,
That
I
is
mean,
why.
yeah, I think your goal is too huge and impactful. So I love that, and I think you will definitely succeed in your goal. So, like, what is the future of Atmanirbhar INR? Like, you will continue your work on Atmanirbhar INR, or some different goals.
Right. So as of now, while we are spreading the name of Atmanirbhar INR, what we want to do is conduct monthly seminars, workshops, and invite women who are, like I said, entrepreneurs themselves, so that they can empower our audience. Apart from this, in the future, I would like to make this an international goal, like a global goal. So it should not just be Atmanirbhar INR, it can be Atmanirbhar USD or Atmanirbhar some other currency, so that we can help spread this motive and make women financially dependent.
Okay, amazing, amazing. I love your whole concept, and you also have tons of extracurricular. So the next one is, I think, economics for leader. So please, can you share something about economics for leader?
Right. So I came across Economics for Leaders on YouTube through one of the interviews, and I was quite fascinated because, like I said, I have been particularly interested in economics. I would love to know the flow of money, the markets, the role of incentives, role of institutions. That is one of the reasons I applied to Economics for Leaders, so that I could meet mind-like peers and communicate with them, converse with them about economics and with our professors. And since I got to work on so many microeconomics projects throughout the Economics for Leaders duration, I think it was particularly very informative and interesting for me.
Yeah, amazing, amazing. And I think economics for leaders, like, it's an online program or offline.
Yeah, I attended the Economics for Leaders virtual program as it was handy and accessible for me.
Yeah.
Um, but if you do attend on spot, like if you do travel to the United States, then I think you could have a better hands-on experience. But
Okay, so
virtual is good.
yeah, virtual is also good. So what is the structure of fees and financial aid or application process?
Right. So for application process for So every program has a different application process. Like for economics for leaders, you need LOR, letter of recommendation. You need a proper essay. But for like my other extracurriculars, you do need to write through for some prompts, like short supplemental essays. So for economics for leaders, what I had to do was I had to write an essay wherein I put across my leadership skills through an example, which I would like to tell you. I wrote about my how I led an entire basketball team and how I was a student coach volunteer. And for my letter of recommendation, I would suggest you take someone who is particularly close to you so that you have a strong emotional letter of recommendation that really moves the an application committee.
Yeah, exactly. That was great, and I think that experience will be the like valuable experience. So you also have achievements like Harvard undergraduate relations scholars program. So what about that? Please share something about that.
Right. So, how I mentioned earlier, we need to fill out these short supplemental essays. That was basically what we were supposed to do in the application process.
Yeah.
And I think I got selected because I put across my interest for international relations, since I've attended multiple MUNs and parliamentary debates. Um, and Howard Hurst was actually quite interesting because when I engaged with many influential leaders like Rose Gottmuller, who is like the former Deputy General of NATO, and such influential people in their fields, I was quite impressed. And they helped me they provided me with like a clear direction. If I want to become a diplomat, if I want to work in the United Nations, what path can I follow? And towards the end we also worked on like our own project, which was a capstone project when we had to create policies, create an institution, and work with a team to really see how the policy making works in such high institutions like UN.
Okay, interesting, amazing, amazing. And and you also mentioned that you got to know about Harvard that program from video of I think Kamola. So did you know Kamola? Who is Kamola?
No, actually, I learned about the Harvard's undergraduate international relations program through some other sources, not exactly YouTube. I got to know about economics for leaders from like when you interviewed Riza.
Yeah, yeah, right, go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
so
so
that
yeah, yeah,
was there.
I remembered. I remembered. Okay, so you also are like a basketball team captain. So you also involved in sports. So you will continue your sports journey or any other plans?
Right. So I used to attend classes earlier, but now it's the other way around. Now I help students who are novices, but they're passionate about the sport. So I help them at school since I volunteered as a student coach, and I do attend competitions from the school side, not from some other academy. And yeah, I lead a team. That's it.
Okay, amazing. And any student have any doubts and questions, so you can just ask in a chat box. Okay, so it's a live session. You can say that. So, Palak, what about your like whole story? Like, where are you from, and like when you started, when you get to know that okay, I have to go into MIT, Harvard, and like when the story begins. Like every student have the point, or you can say that time when they thought that okay, at that time when I started that activity, I got into that program, so my story begins. So what's the time for you? That time for you?
I have been called like a topper throughout my life and achieved. So I don't know, it just clicked to me when I was in fifth grade that yes, I want to go big, and that is why I want to get into such big universities, converse with like minded peers, and create such a base for me that I keep on excelling in life. And when I got to know that such institutions do exist, when where you are, you know, in the creme de la creme, you're in the best fields, that is when I was like, yes, I need to get into an Ivy League university. But unfortunately for me, because of COVID, I sort of lost my touch with other extracurriculars, and I was mainly only focused on debates and MUNs. So it was really during the end of 10th, like during when I was giving my boards, that I realized that I must invest my time in other extracurriculars that really showcase who I am. Because when I talk about myself, I talk about someone who is particularly interested in how institutions work, how incentives work, basically how the GDP of a country works at a micro and macro level, economics and international relations, because I love communications. So, to answer your question, I am from Noida, India, and I study in a CBSE school. So that is why I wanted to apply to these programs so that I could have a better edge on my resume. And in the future, I would like to continue working like this, conversing with the fellows around me who are, even doing better in the field that they've decided to pursue in the future. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, so you are the source of motivation for some students. And Aditya asking about like acceptance rate of economics for leaders. So what is the acceptance rate of economics for leaders?
Um, Actually, they have not really mentioned it on the website. They do
Yeah,
say it's a competitive program, but I think it should be. I mean, this Economics for Leaders program is not as competitive as Harvard's International Relations program.
yeah,
That
exactly.
I think 7% acceptance rate. This one is about 20, 30, or 50%. I'm not really sure, but it has a wider gap of acceptance. But still, that being said, it is competitive.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's totally understandable. Makes sense. So, Palak, what about your schooling? Like about your friends, and they also applied for like summer programs, like or planning for top universities or something else.
Yeah, so my classmates and my friends, they are not really aware of programs by Harvard or Economics for Leaders, but what they do, that is I think quite inspirational for me, is that they apply to a ton of NGOs and a ton of internship spots through websites like Internshala, and that is basically how they fill up their spots on the resume, by working part time and by helping out NGOs.
Yeah, interesting, amazing. And I think the it's a same story for all most of the Indian students. They have a same kind of friends or like that. So, what's about your parents? Like, according to me, in your success, the main part you can say that is from your parents. So what about your parents? They are like supporting, because I know some parents, they are like doing everything for their child, like they are collecting the list of extracurriculars, and they are like just calling me, so please Krishna, send me some list of extracurriculars for my child. So what kind of parents you have?
I think I have the sort of parents who always keep on motivating me to continue pursuing whatever I want, no matter the financial burden, which sometimes is a lot. And I do feel that um, this sort of helps me, because when they motivate me, I know that whatever I am doing is probably for the best.
Yeah.
But another thing that I do like about them is that they do not run after me for doing my extracurriculars. They say, you do what showcases you. You do what sort of shows that yes, you're capable of doing this, you're capable of doing that. And at the end of the day, whenever I do fill out application forms, it is not by the burden of my parents, it is by my own will.
Okay.
So
It makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, totally makes sense. And Aditya also have another question, like how to confirm your like acceptance in Harvard program. So Aditya, there is no way to confirm or guarantee your acceptance rate, because it depends on your whole profile, whole story or essays, everything, or your achievements. So there is no guarantee. But Palak, you have any advice for Harvard's this program in
yeah,
relation?
actually, yeah, I did jot down a few points. One thing that I would like for you all to know is that once you really showcase your let your passion come through your essays. Like, I'll give you an example for my supplemental essay on why I wanted to attend the program. I said I wanted to attend the program right now to feel what it would be like if I would be a diplomat in the future, as in connect with the people around me and learn about so many new aspects of such troubling issues around us and their solutions, and create networks and work for the country. That is what I said. So they knew that I was a credible source because what I was depicting through my essays was just how passionate I was about international relations as a whole. So one thing to ensure is to let your passion come through your essays, and have a personal engaging hook. Like, if you bore your admissions officer within the first three lines, I think they'll probably not pay attention to the rest of your application. So what you want to do is make it a bit creative and play around with the words.
Totally makes sense. And it's also like I also know that like many students are just you can say that put their extracurriculars in their essays, and the whole essay is full of their extracurriculars. I achieved that they're not sharing their like some creative thoughts and the real story, because essays are not essays, those are stories. So if you want to like write a good essay, so just try to be creative and write your essays. So it's advice for everyone, and thank you for your this advice. And what about AP exams? Yeah, it's a crucial topic. So, are you taking any AP exams?
Throughout the start of 11th, I've just been asking other people around me, if you are taking the AP exam, which AP exam you're taking, how are you preparing? So finally, from my entire research, I have concluded that I think the best time to give AP exams is, I think the best amount of AP exams you can give as an Indian student is two or three.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
am, unfortunately, since I started late, I will be preparing for a microeconomics and maybe a macroeconomics AP in the May, when I do come in 12th. But what the others can do is, in case you are in 10th, you can prepare for one of the AP exams to give in May when you will be entering 11th, and then in the next to next May when you'll be entering 12th. So you'll have like a lot of time to prepare for your AP exams.
Yeah, so like according to that, you only have a one chance. Like you have a chance to get take like only 1 year. So for students who are in 10th grade or ninth grade, so it's a valuable advice. Just start as soon as possible and make a list according to your dream university, because some universities are not accepting all AP exams credits. MIT is not accepting chemistry or some most of the IP exams credits. So that's why just research about that. And what about your like GPA, current GPA?
Yeah, my GPA is I am not really sure about the weighted and unweighted
Yeah,
criteria, but
yeah.
I do give like a percentage. So I've been in the top 1% of my class all the years, like a class topper. And in my boards recently, I scored 97.2%. So that concludes my entire GPA from ninth as like a 4.2.
Okay, okay, got it, got
That's
it. Yeah, and what about your future plans? Like any future plans?
I do want to get into international relations, but at the same time, I have this unwavering interest in economics. So probably I will, sort of help with the GDP of my country. Like, at the end of the day, my goal is to uplift India in the economic sphere. That is what I'm working for. Basically, better the standard of living, better our GDP. So yeah, I'm going for a dual major in international relations and economics.
I love to see hear that, because like most of the students just are like thinking about their future, their jobs, their like own future. But you are thinking about India's GPT, GDP, sorry, GPT, because yeah. So the another question is GPT. So according to you, GPT is a good way to write essays. Like most of the students are using Chat GPT. So, like, are you agree with that?
Um, I have been writing my own debate essay since fifth grade, so that is why I am very out of touch with like Chat GPT. But the only thing I think that Chat GPT is good for is for getting synonyms for some words that and some phrases that you do think would be better off put in like another set of words. So I think ChatGPT is not the best or the most reliable source of the essay because after all it is an algorithm. And till the time your essay does not resonate your personality, I don't think ChatGPT would be able to help you get admissions.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a like most important concept, or you can say that misconception. Many students are thinking that okay, now Chat GPT, I have Chat GPT, I can just write prompts and like just say that please write most attractive essay or most beautiful essay that will get me into that program. So it will never work because it's all about creativity, and most of the students have different stories. So it's about sharing stories. So yeah, you can use chat gpt for like grammar check or some plagiarism, but end of the day I'm not suggesting, and I think Palak also not suggesting to use chat gpt. Yeah, so Palak, what about like you said that your yeah, dream university, what about your dream universities?
Um, I for undergraduate, I am aiming for Ivy Leagues. But I have one thing clear, and that is I'm not going to be a financial burden for my parents. As in, I'll only go abroad if I do get a scholarship, or if it's like a reasonable cost, or if it's like one of the top universities. Otherwise, I will continue my studies in India and then do masters abroad. So in India, it will probably be the Delhi School of Economics or LSR, and then
Okay.
abroad it will be the Ivy Leagues.
Yeah, okay, totally makes sense. And I think you will definitely got into some top universities because like you have dedication, you have a story, and you have everything. So I think you will get into. And I think Yale University is also a good option for you because Yale University is famous for economics and your field. So I'm suggesting. So I'm just expecting that your dream university is Yale University. So okay, so sorry, extremely sorry, because you already clear that your dream universities are Ivy Leagues. Yeah. So
Yeah, actually, my dream university, I've been dreaming for Harvard ever since, like I said, I was in fifth grade. But then I realized that all of the Ivy Leagues do have an importance.
yeah.
I was going with Harvard because that is what I heard from everyone. Like, if you have to be the best of the best, you can go to Harvard. But then when I see Yale and I see other campuses and how their students work, and how many great influential people have come out of there, I think at the end of the day it makes sense if I target most of the Ivy Leagues or Stanford.
Okay, interesting. And you selected in some programs. So what about their financial aid, or how much scholarship or financial aid you got from those programs?
So for Harvard undergraduate international relations scholars program, I received $100 tuition waiver. So my total cost was like about 350 US dollars. And for economics for leaders, I did not opt for financial aid since I thought it would reduce my chances of entering, of like
Exactly.
getting admission. But even if you do get even if you do apply with scholarship, I don't think it will hamper your chances of getting admission because
Yeah.
I did apply for scholarship in the Harvard program. And at the end of the day, for most of the programs, like for economics for leaders it was need based, but for Harvard it was merit based. So when I wrote my merits, like I secured an international rank of 10 in the international English Olympiad and some other big achievements of mine. I think that is also one of the reasons I might have received a
Okay,
waiver.
interesting. Okay, okay, totally makes sense. Yeah. And what about your favorite subject? Like you previously mentioned that your favorite subject is economics, but we are from India. So in India, you are from CBSE school, so there is only physics, chemistry, math, and in the English, like only those subjects. So from those subjects, which is the best? I think you choose commerce. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
I did
Okay.
opt for commerce,
Okay.
and from in commerce subjects, I think my favorite. I applied for applied math, so I have always been scared of maths, but I soon grew to love it. Even so that I scored 100 in boards for maths. So I think that is one of the reasons why maths is my favorite subject. I like logical reasoning and working through problems.
Okay, amazing, interesting. And if any student have any doubts and questions, and they want to connect with you, so which platform are you using? Like most of the students are using LinkedIn, Insta, anything. So how they will contact you?
I have a LinkedIn account. I also have an Instagram account, and if you want, you can like write my email. I can send you like my work email. They can contact me through email, or if they would like to connect on Instagram or LinkedIn, I think I will send you the link. You can
Yeah, yeah,
surely
I will. Yeah, I will
send it.
add the. Yeah, I will add all links in the description after this session. So most of the things are covered. And any other programs, like I didn't know about that program, but you got accepted, or any experience?
Um, as for experience, currently, I am not giving much emphasis to programs since another advice it would be that try applying for less programs and apply more for internships or research programs because programs are only limited for like 1 week, so the admissions officers for like the big universities would think that yes, you've gone out of your way to get accepted to these programs, but you haven't had the best return on investment because it's just a 4-day program. But what I am aiming for is like a research internship. So there's one opportunity through Lumiere Education Scholars. It is like you get a full funded scholarship for research, and other is for internship opportunities where you also receive a stipend. So it can be from Home for College where you get gigs, or it can be from internshala. And yeah, I will try applying for those since so that I have like a guaranteed 2 month something to put on my resume that yes, I have achieved this. I have helped the company with this and provide like good information on how I have helped and benefited the country.